Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining the webinar session today. Our webinar today is on effective B2B lead generation techniques, and our presenter today is Rahul Shrivastava. So thank you so much, Rahul, for joining in. Rahul is a business development professional with over 9 years of experience, and he has worked as a hunter, as he calls himself, in selling IT solutions and engineering services in European, Middle Eastern and US markets. So there you go, you have a lot of experience there. Rahul, thank you so much for joining the session. Could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
First of all, I would like to thank Shivani and the entire LeadSquared team who actually given me this chance to deliver this webinar on 8 effective B2B lead generation techniques. I am Rahul Shrivastava. Basically, right now I'm working for Cyient Limited. Cyient is basically a reputed engineering services provider operating from globally 38 locations. And I am having over 9 years of experience for B2B lead generation and new business development hunting for major 3 verticals: IT, supply chain and procurement services, and engineering services, which I am working now. So this is my short introduction, and because I have a lot of things to tell you about the effective techniques, and which I have actually learned over a period of time and still learning, because learning never actually ends. So if you have any questions in between, you can simply write in, and I will definitely be answer. And if I am not able to answer at this point of time, definitely you can send via email to Shivani, and then I will definitely answer that post webinar. So I hope you are able to listen me, and with a cup of tea wherever you are, or you are about to take your cup of tea. So let me begin with this webinar. Go to the next slide. That what is this? So the target audience, as Shivani told me, that it's from basically B2B and B2C. So let me clear here. This is mainly for B2B, and some of the concepts are also actually I'm covering from B2C sector actually. So my target audience is basically from consulting companies, business services, information technologies, telecommunication companies, heavy industries, bank and financial services for enterprises, and corporate education. So, but this is also helpful for companies like insurance companies, banks, financial services and credit institution for end customer, and also for real estate services, etc. So this is a target audience which I have decided because I have been working with a lot of companies in the past, and then I came across a lot of challenges, a lot of successes that I am going to share, that how I got the success, how I learned from the failure and all that. So I hope it is going to be the interesting one in terms of learning and some key takeaways from this session. So I'm not going to teach you what lead generation is all about, because you will find a lot of things on the internet also. But I would like to give you simple understanding about lead generation. And as you know, that lead is an inquiry actually which comes over a website or through phone call or any other medium. So it is when an inquiry comes, you work on that, your company work on that, and try to actually gain some result by acquiring some customers, clients and all that. So the potential client which actually found as a result of such an activity is called a lead. And lead is actually, there are so many kind of leads, that like hot lead, cold lead, warm lead, qualified leads and all that. So it is basically nowadays, if you see that the lead generation techniques over the years has actually been drastically changed. People are using social media, digital marketing, and the traditional ways also, like cold calling, direct mailing and all that. But so it has become a science than art. But in actual, I would say it is an art at the end of the day. And how it is an art, I am going to tell you in this webinar. So let me go to And lead generation, let me, before going to the next slide, it's basically the intention of any lead generation program or any from on behalf of any company is to gain maximum return on investment. You never know that a good lead for a company can change the course of the game, and it can actually get a lot of revenues by those kind of leads and all that. Okay, so uh, let me give you a clear understanding that what exactly you are going to learn, the objective of this webinar and the key takeaways out of this webinar. First of all, I have seen a lot of companies struggled in terms of actually knowing and targeting the right customers, and if they are not able to identify and target the right customer, they are nowhere, and they have to bear the failure, a lot of failures in the process. And how to put efforts, if you know your target market, then how to put efforts in the right areas to generate results, that is also very important. And then the third one is knowing which audience to focus on the most and how, and because it is a process. Once you know the audience and how you actually target that. So I will take a lot of examples in between. It is from the IT industry, it is from engineering services, it is from supply chain and procurement services, all the areas and all the books I have learned, I have read actually, and also the networking I have, and also the people with them actually I have worked over the years. So you will get a lot of insight. I cannot tell you each and everything in this 1 hour webinar, but I will try my level best. So let me go to the next slide. See, I would like to make you understand the importance of lead generation, and many of you, those who are a part of this process, understand the lead generation process. And lead generation is basically the highly appreciated work that actually it is appreciated by the company's top management, and that shows results directly. And it also a kind of lead generator are called engines. So let me give you a small example. I joined one company some time back, and we 2 people were hired, and we did, over a period of 2 months, we did not get any result. And directly the CEO of the company called us and finally asked her that what is the result, why result is not coming. And he used the word engine, why the engine is not humming. So we were little surprised why he is actually used that word. Normally people, so sales people are engine and all that, but we are also engine. So we have to actually understand the role of a lead generator in a company. It's a very crucial role. It's not a cakewalk, and requires a lot of commitment, persistence, and hard work when you do over a period of time, because you know the famous proverbs that efforts are not rewarded, results are. So once you do lead generation over a period of time, you will get a lot of challenges, failures and all that, and ultimately success also. So that's the combination. And the importance of lead generation is that people can jump from lead generator to sales, and from to another higher hierarchy in the organization. So to gain recognition and appreciation and concrete results at the end of the day, so each marketing specialist should master lead generation techniques as soon as possible. This is very important, because being into the lead generation over a period of time, it's all innovation. What you have learned over a period of time, what I was doing some 5 years back, I'm not doing that. I am innovating day by day, and your questions will be a learning for me today. And it's actually I would say this webinar is for lead generation specialists, marketing managers, PR and advertising specialists, sales and channel specialists, and all other telemarketers and call center operators, if you say. So those all people are actually going to be benefited out of this. So let me move to the next slide. Shivani, in between, is there any question for me?
Yes, we have a question actually from Mali. So she says, hi, I'm working in bulk messaging, cloud telephony and digital marketing company. So what are all the best techniques or mediums to get leads in that domain?
Okay. So Mali works for which kind of sector, which company, what's the target audience?
Mali, if you could just tell us what your target audience is. But in the question, she has said that she's in a business which has bulk messaging, cloud telephony, and digital marketing company.
Okay.
So
See,
yeah, it's a digital marketing company.
yeah, Mali, let me answer this way actually, since I don't know who is your target market, which sector you are targeting, focusing on. See, Mali, first of all, you have to decide your target market, and then the most important thing is to build a good database of those companies. See, database nowadays you can purchase from other companies, but that is also not working because majority of the database service provider are not good at when it comes to reaching to the key decision makers. So if your target audience is defined, then you have to do a bit of marketing research that what exactly your competitors are doing first of all, and also a similar kind of services who all are providing and what their target audience are. And if you are able to achieve this knowledge from your research work and then build a quality database. Quality database I will take in further slide. So and then you will definitely know that how to actually target any of the customer in B2B or B2C. Okay, so let me Shamani go further. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if you see this survey was actually conducted by NWCOM, a leading Russian agency, lead generation agency, and in March 2016, and I was one of the participant of that in terms of survey, and they asked so many questions all throughout the geography, three major geographies like North America, APEC, and EMEA. So these are high quality results which actually have been taken from very experienced people ranging from 5+ to 20+. So you will get a good insight that what other geographies are doing, what other companies are doing. So that's why I have put actually all these survey results over here. So here you are seeing that most of the companies are saying 85% are saying that we have new leads and sales because they are doing effective B2B marketing, and 14% are saying that partially we have new leads but no sales from them. And I would like to say here that they have leads, but either they are failing because the major reason they are not have the good identified target market, or they are not doing the B2B lead generation effectively. So, and 1% we can ignore. Let me go to the next slide. So here if you see which was the average quality of the leads found and attracted in 2015. So here you see there are a lot of matrices results are there. Then let us go start with the 48%, that half of the sales lead was of good quality and are taken into sales or lead nurturing. So 48% of the people are saying that we got leads of good quality, and half of them. So see, the conversion rate here may be much less than half also, because in some cases it varies from industry to industry, company to company, and also the size of the company. So here 48% are saying it's a good amount that half of the leads they are able to convert into sales or lead nurturing. Lead nurturing I will take later on. And if you see 28% people are saying that the leads were of good quality, which for the most part is taken into sales or lead nurturing. So here people are pretty sure about that 3/4 of the leads which are actually of good quality. And if you see the another one, 3/4 of the leads were of poor quality and were disqualified. So it varies from industry to industry, I again said. And now 7% people are saying that leads were constantly of an excellent quality, ready to start sales. So these are those companies or those people, those who are saying that all the leads they generated are of good quality and are turning into sales. Those who are doing things effectively, professionally, and with a good techniques, and a lot of things are involved in that. So let me go to the next slide, which is also very important. See, I'm going to tell you that the major prospective technique these days companies are using. These are the major techniques which companies are using. So I am not going to cover every thing here actually. So I have chosen actually mainly the traditional one, because this webinar is not for big companies, mid-sized company. It is for smaller companies also. They have budget constraint actually, so they cannot use hi-fi CRMs, some good software and all that. So they have only traditional ways. But I would like to focus on cold calling, trade shows, direct mailing, and referrals from partners and existing clients, because if I will cover all these things, so it is not going to be covered in 1 hour. So maybe we can have some more seminars on other techniques. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. So first of all, as Mali was also asking the question that what should she do? She should so does actually in terms of identifying the prospect. You just have to identify what is your target market. So unless or until I have seen companies, those who are actually not able to identify their target market and they are struggling. Target market is identify a prospect's profile. A lot of research involved nowadays. So there are mainly two markets, whether you go to B2B or B2C. Let me take one example from the first one is natural market and the niche market. So let's take an example from B2C of a life insurance company. So when any person joins any life insurance company, the manager of that company asks that, okay, make a list of 100 people, and where you actually call them, and then because those are easy convertible leads. And so that is natural market for every sales professional or any insurance agent. So that is not the intent here actually. So but the sales insurance agent is actually targeting people, those who have actually bought home and all that, so they want life insurance, and those who are expanding their family and all that. So they're actually, it's a kind of niche market actually, where actually company have to focus upon rather than only natural market. And most of the companies are not able to identify the niche market for them. That's why they have a lot of unsuccess. And I would say, so in a nutshell, I would say natural market is for everyone, and those who would like to specialize and those who would like to become more stronger day by day in terms of revenue or reach from the market in terms of good clients, then they have to identify a niche market for them. And it depends upon industry to industry and how they actually, it requires a lot of research also. So let me go to the next slide, and here you are able to see which activities were the most effective for lead generation in 2015-16. This is the most important slide actually. Many people, many of you might have questioned that we are doing this, we are doing that, but globally if you see that what exactly worked actually, I am not talking about talking in air. This is all researched, this is all a good survey. And most of the people actually are in favor of marketing emails. So let me tell you here that majority of the people are not good at sending marketing emails. Nowadays, a lot of customizations are there, a lot of softwares are there in the market and all that. See, the typical email, so many people ask, and I'm also consulting within the organization, outside the organization, how a typical email should look like. See, first of all, making an email is different, and also making a subject line is different actually. See, whenever you are sending email, if your subject line is not catchy, then nobody is going to open your email. Whatever you have written over there in the email, it is not going to make sense. So you have to be very innovative while writing subject line, and you yourself will feel actually whenever you get any email in your inbox, whether it is Yahoo or Gmail, you see you open only that email where the subject heading you find very catchy. So first of all, try to innovate on the subject line and keep changing. If one subject line is not working, then you can keep changing that, but don't make a subject line that you are selling something, that you are selling. So there are so many, I am not going to tell you because again it is a big topic. So it's just a hint, make your subject line catchy. And then let me come to the mail part. See, all the C-level people or the big people don't have actually time to read all your emails, because I have seen companies are sending bulky emails also and all that. But actually the major content of the email should be, it comprises of three main parts: greetings, who you are and all that, and then it should start with 2 or 3 liner, the benefit that you are going to provide us. Rather than telling about you in the starting itself, you can take about the introduction of the company in the middle part. See, CEOs, CTOs and all that, they don't have time to scroll the screen. If your email is too long, they are not going to scroll it. So in the first screen, what they are going to see, they will read. So the power statement, the opening statement, the benefit that you are going to provide to the customer is of utmost actually importance. And then in between, you can actually simply write about the introduction of your company, and if you have done something for the similar kind of companies, then you can also in 1 or 2 liners. Your maximum typical marketing mail to any of the company that you are pitching in should not be more than 10 to 12 lines. And this is all based upon the experience I am telling you. And the marketing emails, if you design in a proper manner, you are going to get success. That is for sure. And event and webinars are also very important prospects actually. Basically mid-sized companies and big companies are actually have budget to attend, but for a smaller company, I would like to advise they can actually just attend as a visitor there, because that is very helpful, because a lot of companies are actually there and they they have a chance to gather business cards through this event and webinars. And I will tell you that how to make it most effective while attending event and webinars. And there are other techniques also. I am not going to cover all this. There's a content marketing is also coming. Social media is also one of the most powerful tool. I will talk about this later on. And Shivani, if I would like to take one question actually, if there is any question for me.
Actually, there are quite a few questions coming in, but one of them is related to the data you showed earlier, the surveys. So Devaya is asking, the data is collected across how many companies, like a general percentage or number?
See, this data was actually conducted from 300 companies, mainly 300 companies all across the geography. That is from North America, APEC region, Middle East, EMEA, entire Middle East, and India is also one of them, big country. So I will definitely show the demographics, the survey later on in this webinar only. Okay.
Okay, and there are quite a few questions. So guys, don't worry. Most of them will be taken up, as we move forward.
Okay. Okay. So let me go to the next slide.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the focusing on techniques, that these are 4 important techniques, and which I am going to tell you that how you have to do it in a very short span of time, because if I explain each one of them in detail, it will take hours or many hours. So direct mail marketing, I just told you about that, what a typical email should look like. But here I would like to say that in each of the these 4 cases, follow-up is very important, and how you do follow-up is an art again, and which you will learn over a period of time. Nobody can say that I am a good follower, I can follow anything. So when you send an email to any of the company in the starting, so many many of the people actually organization, I've seen that they actually they immediately call after 1 or 2 days, or maybe on the same day. That is not going to be the case. This is not working, my friends. So first send an email in the starting, and then after 2 or 3 days send a follow-up email on the same email by pressing the reply button. Because when you also see a reply kind of email where somebody has replied, it actually catches your attention. So this is the technique which is working nowadays, so you can use that. And after see, the best time or best day for sending email is not Monday, and in fact you can also ignore Tuesday. If you start sending on from Wednesday onwards, to Wednesday, Thursday is a good time to sending your marketing emails. And then how you follow after a follow-up via email, then you have to cold call that company about that. Now you have a leverage. Actually, you have sent something to somebody, and now it's a kind of cold call, because you have not taken any appointment and all that, but you are just asking a customer that whether I hope you might have received my email and all that, then you talk about. See, cold calling is a very big topic, and many of the people think that cold calling is dead. I am not agreeing with that, but cold calling has actually changed a bit actually. And see, first of all, there are so many techniques we have actually also learned over a period of time. In the starting, we were not actually getting any sort of meeting while doing cold calling, but we gradually learned and learned and learned. I have seen so many people are not able to bypass a gatekeepers also. So I will tell you a bit about it actually. See, whenever you are uh, uh, calling to any company, you should have few things in mind. You should be ready with your script. I'm not talking about a script which is very looks like a very marketing kind of script. You can choose your own words, some good words and all that. And first of all, people would like to hear a few things about you, not a complete introduction of your company. If suppose you are connected to the gatekeeper and the gatekeeper is asking what is this region all about, and you can simply say that I was trying to reach so and so, and the reason for that this call is in regard is to save 20% on fax machines, some benefit statement. So would you like to convey my message to your boss that how actually you can actually save 20%? This is one example I am giving. There are so many other examples. So definitely when you are saying something, saving, helping, or something, some kind of keywords, definitely. And even if a gatekeeper is not bypassing you and saying a lot of if and words, then you can say, are you the decision maker in making all these things like adding new suppliers and all that? Definitely she will say no, and then definitely you have a lot of techniques then to enter in. So I have just mentioned two of the techniques, and we can actually later on have some more sessions on cold calling or direct email techniques. Now coming back to trade shows, here actually trade shows is actually when people go to trade show and all the sales people or marketing guys, what's the major mistake they do actually when they meet so many people? Trade show is not to socialize actually. It's not to chatting with people and all. It's getting meeting with business meeting and all that. So people, if they are going just for socializing and all that, that is not going to work. See, people go there, meet people and all that, collect their business card, and within 1 week they have to follow, otherwise there is no use of going to trade shows. If the sales people are not following within 1 week of the post trade shows, then I have seen results actually in many of the companies where actually people were not able to follow up after 1 week or maybe after 15 days. So people are not responding because they are engaging in some other trade shows, just like it. So, and now a referral from existing customers, this is also very important. And how to ask referral from existing customer? There are certain questions actually which you can ask to your existing customers, that how do you think that are you getting benefited from us? What are the major 3 things that you would like to tell about us, our product or services? And then definitely these are the same. And in the end you can simply ask, so would you like to refer somebody of your own reference or your own friend company or something like that? Then definitely they would like to refer. So don't ask that in the first instance that could you please refer somebody from an existing customer, because that is not a very professional actually. So now going to the next slide. Now what is the approach actually? So no matter what your prospecting method is, the basic principle of lead generation is not going to change. Let me give you one good example. There was one guy actually who was studying in IIM Bangalore some time back, and in IIM there is a culture actually, if you got 2 consecutive supplementaries in the same subject, you will be thrown out of the IIM. And then finally that guy actually got 1 F in one of the marketing subject, and he wrote so many good answers of that those questions actually which he appeared in the examination, and then finally he got F. And then he went to the professor and ask simply that I wrote so many good answers, and you can compare with other people and all that. Some of my senior also suggested, so that is how can I get this F or supplementary in this subject? Then professor simply answered that, my dear, that in marketing questions remain same but answer changes every year. So that's how the challenges and all these techniques are going to change. Social media is also coming, digital marketing also coming, but the traditional way of doing B2B market is not going to change. But how you use it is the most important thing over here. How you cold call, how you send direct email, how you attend trade shows, how you ask the referral from your customer, existing customer is very important. So let me tell you, whenever you are calling or emailing to any of the customer in the world, your opening statement must grab the prospect attention, otherwise you are not going to get any further success. If by chance you get it, that is your luck, but your opening statement, so keep innovating your opening statement every time. If you are not getting result from one opening statement, then you should keep innovating your opening statement. Suppose you are talking to any person, first 30 seconds are very important, and when you are sending to email to any company, then the first 3 to 4 lines are important. And so immediately get to the point. So people start explaining about their company, their achievements and all that. That is not going to work, because they don't want to know more about you. They want to know more about that, how you what you are going to tell me, how you are going to remove their pains and all that. So the opening statement must be a benefit statement. If see, everybody likes in this world benefit, whether a customer or whatever it is. If you are providing benefit in your statements or while you are calling, then it is going to work. Believe me, this is a proven thing. I've been doing this. This is practically possible, and I have been involved in multi-million dollar projects in many of the companies I work, deals and all that. So this is well proven. Always put yourself in the receiver's position as you develop your script email. See, whenever you get any email from insurance side or any of the sales people and all that, so how you get actually attracted with the email. So you just have to see your receiver in that in the same positions. So and then anticipate response from the receiver's perspective. This is also very important. So let me quickly, actually, because some slides are more there, so let me go to the another slide. This is also one of the most important and I am expecting some of the questions from this slide actually. So which challenges and obstacles did you face while doing lead generation? So this survey has come out that people found some of the challenges in necessity of new content, because every day you have to innovate in your content on your website, on your email, and the kind of everything that you have to innovate actually. And now coming back to the most important part of the slide is low quality contact database. Many of the companies are struggling with the database these days, and I also struggled in the starting with the database. Let me tell you, over here LinkedIn is one of the most important database service provider. If you go for it, you will find. And in some European countries, LinkedIn is also a challenge. There I found useful Xing.com, Xing.com. This is basically a website for people, those who find jobs in European countries, but it is also effective for getting good quality database. There are so many, Zoom Info, Hoovers is there, OneSource is also there. So there are a lot of, it depends upon the company's budget also, they can purchase. But see, if you learn the art of making good quality database, it is always an asset for the company in a longer duration time. So smaller companies cannot actually go for a big subscription like Hoovers and OneSource and all that. Those are very costly. So try to learn, make database. You can at least take one subscription of LinkedIn at least, or Xing. Xing is very cheap. It is $10 a month, or maybe yeah, it is like that. So, and the most important challenge that I found over the years is the lead generation and sales coordination. See, when you produce good leads, if the sales people are not good, then their leads are totally waste. So there has to be a proper coordination between a sales team and lead generation team. And also, many of the companies are having lack of budget, but I would suggest over here at least go for some small budget CRM so that you can capture your lead and also put reminders as far as follow-ups are concerned. This is very important. Excel is not going to work in case of follow-ups and all that. And also problems with targeting I already discussed. And then there are certain other, and these are the major challenges which company faced, and I am sure that your company, the audience which is listening all this particular webinar, majority of the challenges are from this slide. Let me go to the next slide. So now the very important part, this I would like to discuss here is two sales lead elements B2B lead generation companies must understand, and this is for not for only big company, this is for any of the B2B companies, whether it is small, mid-size, big, and also for B2C also. See, first of all, let me tell you that understanding pain of your prospect is very important. If you are selling something, if you are approaching any client without understanding the pain point, it is not going to work in majority of the cases. And then how you can actually understanding the pain of the customer, let me take one example. Otherwise, there are so many other examples also. So let me take one example from my experience actually, how to understand the pain of the prospects. See, when you are doing some marketing research about the company, and then finally you find that that company is in a loss, or the company is going for a bankruptcy, or something triggers you find from marketing point of view, and then you design understanding the pain points. Based upon that, you trigger your email, and understanding the pain in the right area requires a lot of hunting, market research and all that, but it is a proven technique. Let me tell you, it is a proven technique. When you hit on the pain, then customer will definitely talk to you. But identifying pain is not the important thing to get sales. There are some other further, which is something understanding motivation of your prospects. See, suppose you identify the pain of your prospect, but you are not able to identify the motivation of your prospect. Why having some questions with the prospect that whether there is any budget, or do you have any other suppliers or something like that. If you find that your prospect is good on the motivation side, then you can feel that there are chances of sale. Otherwise, the motivation on the in the sales journey from generating lead to the closure of this sales, if you find at any point of time the motivation is not there, so you have to judge their motivation by asking different questions, whether they have budget, or what is the timeline they are going to purchase this service or this product and all that. If you find in the sales journey that there is no motivation at all, then you just drop that customer or that prospect in fact, and move on to the next other customers and all that. So let me tell you before moving to the next slide is basically what is customer and what is client and all that. See, majority of the companies I have seen that they are looking for customers. See, and customer will come and go, customer will come and go. They are not going to give you big deals and all that. So once you start converting your customer into clients, so then you are going to become big. And how this is going to happen, there are a lot of things like how you provide the value to them, how you provide the quality to them, and how you give the after sales services to them. That is how the customers are converting into clients. And once the clients are converting, then they become, the next stage is suppliers. So that is another thing, big area. Let me go to the big slide, next slide. See, what was the main reasons for sales not closed or customer delayed decisions? This is also very important from many of the companies and many of the attendees here. And if they are not getting sales, these are the reasons. And you can easily identify your reason here. Leads and no budget. Long purchase life cycle, the sales goes on because a majority of the this B2B lead generation is a relationship selling, and it's not a transactional selling. So you make one sale and the story ends. It's the relationship selling. So purchase cycle is also very high in this case. And the sales department did not work out the leads. This is also very important. Let me tell you one small example over here. I was working for one company and I generated quite a few good leads in the European market, and my engagement manager or the sales manager was not able to close those good leads because he was not good at follow-up, and he himself admitted at the end of the day that I was not doing good follow-up, otherwise some of them would have converted. So the follow-up, see, if you are putting a lot of efforts in generating lead, and if you are not following, it's a total wastage of time you are doing. And customer have chosen competitive products. So this will happen every time. Say your competitors are also in the market, they will also sell ahead of you. So you have to, but you have to keep tab on that, what they are doing and what kind of market research they are doing, what kind of clients they have added and all that in a period of time. So that, and important another factor is leads should be nurtured too early to start sale. See, getting leads is one thing, and then to nurture that lead, a good salesperson or good B2B lead generator should divide the leads into three parts, like cold, warm, everybody knows, and then based upon the hot leads, they should start follow up immediately, irrespective of the results, because in this field rejection is a part of life. So if you fear with the rejection, you are not going to get success. So leads were of poor quality. Of course, if the lead is of poor quality, without any proper research, without any proper contact, and most of the time I found that people are not able to reach the key decision maker. So here, what is the tendency of the company is actually, if they are not able to reach the key decision maker, because ultimately the decision comes from key decision maker whether to outsource or whether to purchase any services from you. See, then you can always target the influencer, the low designation title, like suppose you are targeting the vice president of any company and you are not able to reach, because it's not easy to reach vice president all the time. Then you can start reaching manager or director level, and then you can influence by taking the reference, because those are the people normally will be able to talk. And it again depends upon the the company you are targeting. If it is small, there you will find managers are decision makers. If it's a mid-sized company, directors are or VPs are decision makers. It's a big companies, normally heads are decision makers or the MDs are decision makers. So, but it varies actually from company to company, because there are so many other companies I encountered is actually where they have big business unit in each country, where they hand over the decision making to the business unit and the particular head of that business unit. So you will face a lot of realities, lot of challenges here also. Now, those who are thinking, those who have not actually given some allocated some budget for the lead generation process company, then how they can become big actually, or if they have some other alternative method, like they get projects or references, or their big people like CEO, CTO or himself doing lead generation, then that is a different case. But every good company is are allocating especially a budget for lead generation, and in that budget they are looking for good people, they are looking for good database service providers, they are looking for good CRM service providers. So there has to be a budget for lead generation, because this is going to be the engine for your company in terms of getting new opportunities for the company. So who does lead generation in your company? So this is a question for you audience. Later on, let me go to the highest one. The marketing department these days are doing lead generation also in most of the companies. But in majority of the good companies, where actually marketing and lead generation department is entirely different. They are coordinating with each other, but the work culture and the approach, marketing is for different activity and lead generation is for different activity. And the important percentage, 12% is going to outsourcing call center lead generation agency. See, many of the big companies, I also heard that companies like Infosys, Hexaware and all that, they have outsourced some of their core competency they are not core competent in some of the verticals. They have outsourced to third-party lead generation agencies. There are many good lead generation agencies in India too, but there is again a challenge actually hiring lead generation agency and hiring people in your own company. That is entirely a different thing actually, because in when you hire a lead generation agency for B2B lead generation, you are not going to have the IP at the end of the day, but you have when you hire people in your own department or in your own company, then you have all the IPs, the database and the approach and all that, because lead generation, third party lead generation companies are not going to share each and everything to you. And in some companies, if you see, the sales people are himself doing the lead generation, top management is also doing the lead generation, and in-house call center is also there, and there are a lot of other ways also. So let me go to the other slide. What does your company plan to do for lead generation in 2016? So you can choose that what exactly you are good at and what exactly is lacking, so that you can choose and pick, because Shivani is going to I think share this presentation, so you can have this the copy of this presentation anyways. So lead generation strategy, development and implementation, 60% are saying. Targeting, segmenting, qualification, new groups, 56% are saying. Lead nurturing is also not a very small amount, 47% are saying actually. And most of the people are focusing upon updating their website, adding lead generation functions, adding CRM, sales and marketing implementations, new collaterals, white papers, newsletters and all that. See, if you are not able to do many of the things which have actually been pointed out here, then you simply hire good people, those who have knowledge of lead generation, allocate some budget, and also look out for certain effective tools, at least some CRMs and all that. And you can have either choice. You can purchase database or you can build the database of your own. See, database, if the database is not good, then how you can approach the customer. So the quality of the database should be of utmost importance when you do any B2B lead generation technique. So the other slide, this is also a good result. Which type of marketing campaign do you plan to do for lead generation in 2016? Many of the people are relying on content marketing. Yes, I would say this is also one of the evolving thing which companies are doing. Many of the companies are attending, as I said earlier, events and webinars. This is also one of the evolving field. In fact, I would say that big companies, majority of the leads, B2B leads, are coming from events. Let me be very clear over here. And yes, they have specialized lead generators also in the company, but what kind of events they attend, how they actually follow up after that, and what kind of presence they show at the time of exhibition and all that, because they have good budget and all that. So events and webinars is a bread and butter for big companies. Your website, yes, download, subscription. Search engine optimization is also a very important tool which companies are doing. Marketing, mailing, a very traditional approach, as I told you earlier. Social media marketing, this is also very important, because nowadays that people are approaching through social media. They are doing some pay per click, or LinkedIn is also helping them while paying something, asking for some payment and all that, and they are doing on behalf of them. So, but on a personal perspective, what I can tell you at this point of time, if you have a premium account of LinkedIn and you are targeting people, then you have facility of doing sending some emails, some 19 emails per month without adding contact. Suppose you add any contact, then you can simply send a message, but if the contact is not willing to add you, then you can also send emails, and your emails should be very crispy. And I have got success through this email kind of activity. And also there are two certain other techniques which I would like to tell you. See, whatever company, whatever person you are targeting, find that person on LinkedIn and try to find out that whether that person is attending some webinar or he is involved in some of the groups and all that, and try to follow that person, what he is doing, and also try to appreciate if he has written some post and all that over a period of time. And I got one good success in Middle East out of that. I was following that client from last 1 year, but they denied in the starting, and then finally I was following that client from last 1 year. I keep congratulating on completing 1 year in the company, or maybe happy birthday kind of thing. And then finally he wrote some of the blogs and all that. I keep appreciating and all that. And finally we got the project. So this is a live case example, I would say to you, to all of you. And then finally, many of you might have doubts over the surveys and all that. You can simply visit NWCOM website and all that, in order to find out the company and all that. So this survey was actually done in USA, Canada 36%, India 18%, Europe, UK 21%. Since this is a company from Russia, so 12% people are from that location also. Australia 4%, other 9%. So it's a global kind of research that has been actually conducted, and so many people interviewed within the organization actually. And you see the result over here. Now go to the next slide. Shivani, any question, or because we have some 10 minutes left?
Actually, there are quite a few questions. So one of the tools about, one of the questions, sorry, is about the leads and how to divide them between cold and what is warm and what is hot, like based on what parameters?
Yeah, it's a very good question. In fact, see, this is also very challenge also for many people. Actually, I observed actually over a period of time they are not able to actually identify which is cold and all that. See, simply when you're talking to a person and he has shown some sort of interest, like, okay, I would like to attend the webinar. So this is a cold one, because he has just shown the interest, or for the first time he would like to mingle with you for the meeting or a call. This is a cold one, because you do not know what is going to be the outcome for you. Okay, and then finally, once that person attended webinar and all that, and then finally he shows some opportunity whatever you are presenting. Suppose he likes some services of yours, some product of yours, and if he or she finds some opportunity, then it is a warm lead. It is a warm lead. And then finally, after having a lot of discussion, 2 or 3 meetings and all that, finally they would like to ask you for NDA sign, or maybe they are looking for request for quotation, request for proposal and all that. Then this is a hot lead for you. And this is how we actually categorized in companies actually. And I do not know what apart from this other companies are following, because this is the standard procedure I am telling as far as my knowledge, because we are also using certain Salesforce and all that. There exactly the way I am telling is defined, the hot, warm and cold. Okay, so I hope I answered the question.
Yes, please feel free to share any follow-up questions. Rahul, maybe you can proceed, and then we can take up all the questions right after that.
Okay, so this is the next slide for survey demographics actually. The business sector, if you see, the majority of the respondent, 78% belong to the B2B sector here. As I already said, this is totally focused, mainly focused on B2B, and B2C people are also there, 20%, and some other B2G, government and all that. So all the participants are majorly from B2B sector, whether it is from different industry. And number of employers, 45% of the respondent companies employed a staff of 100. So if you see, there are big companies also, 5,000 plus. I am a part of 14,000 plus company. So there are few people that are less than 10 also, and majority of the people are lying in 10 to 99. So yeah, because this is a challenge for them to getting new leads. So they would like to know that how actually participate in such kind of service and all that. So let me go to the final slide, and see, I have so many suggestions, so many tricks, so many techniques, but I have actually pointed here 3 suggestions here over a period of time. So if you follow this these suggestions, definitely you are going to be benefited. The first one is nowadays it has been a drastic change since what we used to do some 5 years back. See, people are going more social. So you have to be more social and try to get to know more about customers rather than talking about more about yourself on your business. You can always talk about your business, but first of all talk about know the customer and talking about them. Let me they give you a beautiful example. I was working with one company and our BP was telling this example to us. He was going for a customer meeting, and one of the manager he accompanied at that point of time, and they were actually going to meet a customer in which final negotiations they were going to do. And finally, he asked the manager to do some pre-research about the customer, and the customer found that he is a big fan of Formula One race. And then that guy, the manager, did some research because he himself was actually had a good interest in Formula One race, so he did some more research on that, and then they both went to the meeting with the customer, and the customer was pretty upset about some of the bill losses in Formula One race, and simply manager asked, so is there anything you are worrying about? And simply said, I'm a big fan of Formula, and then the conversation started, and the conversation went for 30 minutes, and finally the deal was signed. So finally customer was very much pleased with the knowledge of the manager, and he was not asking for any rate negotiation and all that. He was pretty satisfied with the knowledge of Formula One race. So sometimes it's very important to know about your customer, where he worked, where he actually, from which company, which competencies from, and all that. And I would also recommend that for companies who lead generation is not the expertise of their business, and they are struggling, or then they can outsource their to some marketing third-party lead generation agency. So why it should be there? Because outsourcing enables these enterprises to focus their energy on closing sales. So if they keep spending a lot of time in hunting or generating new leads, they are not going to focus on the closing sales. So companies are doing that. You can also do that if you are finding some problems in getting some good leads. And see, a lot of people are talking about social media and all that. A lot of techniques are evolving day by day, and social media is also one of them. But somehow I doubt that we will receive the same quality of the information via social media compared to the information we gather by taking to the prospect directly over the phone. This is I observed, because while talking you can ask questions and you get the real-time insight about the customer. And if you rely more on social media, you might have a chance that you did not actually get the right information. So Shivani, that concludes my presentation, and I am happy to take few questions before ending this presentation, because we have a time limit for that.
Not really, we can go a little over. So guys, I'm going to just start asking questions right from the oldest one, so please don't get angry if I haven't taken yours straight away. So starting with Chetan's question, he says, can you help me get some insights for getting leads in the IT services domain for services like mobile app development, website development, and digital marketing?
Okay, great. See, Chetan, first of all, I worked for IT companies, but for different companies actually. But again, I answered this question, and one of the question of Mali asked actually. See, how can you get is, again, you have to identify the target market. What is your target market actually? If you are not knowing your target market, mobile application, who are the customers that you are using mobile application, who are in requirement of that, you have to do a lot of research work and all that. So before that, once you identify the target market, because there are a lot of companies are getting leads in mobile application, and what apart from that you said, Shivani, mobile application and two other things.
Yeah, it was digital marketing. Yes, it was website development, mobile app development, and digital marketing.
See, website, and let me tell you over here that I encountered few companies where they started with website development kind of services, and then finally went into selling ERP and then selling mobile application. It is always good to diversify in different areas. I would not say that to identify, but majority of the companies are failing because they are not having focus on one services or one area. See, if you keep selling, otherwise you have to hire a specialist in each and every area, those who are having good knowledge about each and every area. And also, first build a competency on one and then another and then another. This is how the things work. And if you keep selling, I've seen a lot of companies, they are putting a lot of material. We build website, we build e-commerce portal, we do that, and end up nothing. If they get some big projects, and I would guarantee that they are not going to complete it. The reason is they are not able to identify the target market easily, which are the target market and target potential prospects actually. So how can you get lead? I have given a lot of techniques to you. I cannot repeat that. So first of all, identify your target market and build a good quality database. That is an art, and you cannot learn in one day. You have to practice a lot. Go do some social media like LinkedIn and all that. These are good sources of making good quality people there. And email IDs, also some techniques are there. You can find out of your own and all that. So build a target market for us and shoot an email. Call them. Techniques have changed. Don't go with the traditional sending emails. Sending emails on the right day is also very important. Following up is also very important. If you are not getting leads or if you are struggling, then you are doing something wrong. So you have to evaluate yourself. Okay. So and next question.
Yeah, so Pawan wants to know, this was regarding the matter you mentioned towards the end. So he said, as you said, big brands are offering 12% for outsourcing, call center or lead generation. So that's 12% is on profit or product price?
Which slide? 12%.
Yes, Pawan, if you could please just let us know, because there are quite a few questions here. So I may not be able to remember. Maybe we can move on to the next one until he comes up with
12% for the outsourcing. Yeah, now I have come to the slide. So see, this is mainly for B2B companies are doing this. I have heard about it. Infosys has done it, Hexaware has done it, and these are all big companies. And why they are going for this third party? Because they have a lot of people inside, they have a lot of marketing people, big marketing team. Still they are going for this outsourcing, because in certain verticals they don't want to hire people again and again. They want to show, because some outsourcing agency has actually proved in terms of getting good leads from that particular vertical. So that's why we are doing this. And in fact, for product also you can do that. So I do not have insight that what are the percentage of services company did that and what are the products. So both are doing that. Mainly services companies are doing this.
Okay. So I'll move on to the next question. So this is from Balvinder. I think it is more of B2C, but he says, hi, my venture is about home decor. I've received call many times where they are selling leads to me. So how reliable are these sources?
Okay, it's a good question, Balvinder. See, Balvinder, again, they are selling leads to you. You should not rely them completely. You should not rely them, because see, they are selling these leads to many people, many person and all that. You just have to cross check. If you can find out some insight from other people or customer, if you can ask them, tell me the customer name who have been actually benefited from the same thing. If they are able to give you one or two recommendation or one or two customer reference, then you can inquire of your own with your own techniques, then rely on them. Because see, ultimately the target market is same for them, and they are increasing customer day by day. So maybe this is not going to work for you. So first do some research work prior to that. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So there's another question. He says, I'm part of a ERP software company, and I would like to know how to target my market, natural and niche market.
Okay, great. See, let me give you an example over here. I was working some 6 to 7 years back, and one of my friend was working in an ERP company like you, and that company was evolved from one of the entrepreneur who was having distillery. He used to manufacture wines, whiskey and wines. So see, he opened one IT company, small IT company, to manufacture ERP for their distillery unit, and then finally he asked me, they started selling this ERP in the market to different sector, and then finally he asked me that we are not getting good sales of this ERP and all that. What should we do? And I simply told my friend that since you have made this ERP for your own distillery, for your own boss, why don't you target the major distillery of India? Those who are, there are so many distilleries, those who manufacture wine and whiskey, and then they started targeting because they can replicate the same issue over there. The challenges are same in the major distilleries. And so here I mean to say that, see, again, the major, in ERP, a lot of competition is there. Lot of competition is there. There are n number of companies who are providing ERP services provider. See, you have to either differentiate somewhere in your target audience, and you have to come out with certain specific benefit points, and otherwise you are not going to actually get good clients actually. So do some market research work, that where your product will, which is the unidentified market for you in India, what are the other possibilities for you, and then do the basics, and which I have actually told in this entire webinar. If you do by this basic techniques also, you are going to get success. If you are going to write a good email, good follow-up, good cold calling techniques, you are definitely going to get the, and you are not going to get in 1 day or 15 days. You have to do this repeatedly. Okay.
Okay, moving on. Now, so this is very new to me also. So what is meant by networking fraternal organization?
Yeah, this is fraternal organizations is basically within the same community, or maybe some two brothers have opened different industry. Some like in Hindi we can say bhaichara. So some kind of companies are there where we can actually get references of other. Okay, you are getting some orders from there. Why don't you refer the same client to me? We are also producing the similar kind of product or services. So it's a kind of communication between the same community or same kind of industry.
Okay. Next question is, what is the approximate cost to host a webinar for your prospects, and how often should you do it?
I think for me, this is a question, or Shivani, for you.
Actually, Sushant has asked, and I'm proposing it to you because you may have attended quite a few. I've only done it for LeadSquared, so
See,
maybe you can share some other
ask you,
insights.
let me ask you, I have attended only free webinars and this is also free for me. So, but you can definitely attend paid webinars. They are not costing much. Maybe Shivani, you might have some idea about that, because any webinar is going to give you some sort of learning at the end of the day. And I was, let me give you my idol in sales or B2B is Jeffrey Gitomer. Jeffrey Gitomer, I don't know many of you know about him or not. And actually I was trying to connect him on LinkedIn from last so many years. And finally 2 days before he accepted my this LinkedIn invite. You know why he accepted? Not only because I attended his webinar and all that. See, I simply write, when you send an invite to anybody, you can write message while pressing the connect button, and LinkedIn also have this standard message. But I wrote, I am your customer, Jeffrey. I purchased your book, the Sales Bible, and then finally he accepted. So coming back to the webinar and all that, if you are getting learning from people like Jeffrey Gitomer and all that, then you should attend. Yeah, you should attend, whatever be the cost. If it is too high, then you can think within a budget timeline.
Great. So moving on. So here's another question. He's saying, you mentioned that we can speak about the customers. I think he's referring to something you mentioned earlier, Rahul. So he says we already are catering to that in the email. However, wanted to know in this case, is it important to take the customer's permission before we mention them in our emails?
The customer, those who are already customers.
Yes, I think that's what he means.
Yeah, it's also very good question. See, actually, I'm talking about, first of all, big companies. In big companies, people have a lot of issues, IP issues also, and some projects are very restricted, where actually you cannot enter with your mobile phones and all that. So a lot of scrutiny is there, a lot of secrecy is there, and they don't want, and there are many customers of ours where actually they don't want to name us in the email. But yes, some customers are very, you would say, normal, and you simply ask to them that I would like to take your name in the email. But yeah, permission is very important in big companies, mid-sized companies also. But in smaller companies, I don't think it matters a lot. But still, if you make this as a habit of taking permission, then I think they will value also. Oh, this guy is asking a permission for me. I am a valued customer for him. So this way you can take permission. So make this as a habit. And if you are, even if you are doing without the knowledge of them, I think if there is no IP issue such in companies, or where they won't mind actually. But in big companies, you have to take permission.
Okay. Here's another question. So it's regarding one of your surveys actually. So she says, how do you rank content marketing so low on lead generation effectiveness? Is content marketing not the critical element for all forms of marketing outreach?
See, I don't know whether he or she is talking about this slide.
Shruti, if you could just tell us which slide you're specifically talking about. In the meantime, I'm going to quickly move on because
yeah, let me answer the question actually. Yeah,
okay.
she was saying that content marketing is not the critical element for B2B. Is it the question?
No, she's saying that you have ranked content marketing as low, but she thinks content marketing is very critical. Be it like any form of marketing outreach, it is a very critical element, but then in the survey it was ranked low. That's what she was saying,
Okay.
if I'm
Okay.
getting it right. Yeah.
See, actually, let me tell you, this survey is not only mine, first of all, and this is based upon the global ranking, and maybe this is for 1 year only. First of all, let me tell you, this is not for 30 years or 12 years. This is for 1 year, and as I already said, that things changing. Maybe they have content marketing is always important. They have given it lower. Maybe for that the set of companies or that set of people are actually, but it is always important. It is always important. Yeah,
Okay,
it's 33% here. It's 33% here. Is always, see, here is whatever content you write on a website and all that. Ultimately, if your approach is not good and you are not able to showcase good case studies to the client, whatever content you have, and then client are not going to come with you. This is also one of the case.
Okay. Yeah. So what kind of techniques can we apply on social media to increase followers in order to generate leads?
Okay, good. See, LinkedIn has one department where actually, suppose you want to target any geography or any particular I am giving you just one example. There are so many other things in LinkedIn when you contact them. So because we do, I have heard about it. So if you contact them that we would like to target a particular geography and a particular set of audiences, and this is my budget. Suppose they have many plans, $1,000, $2,000 and all that. So they will ask you to make some white papers, some landing pages and all that, and then they send emails through their own means to the target audiences, and based upon the result they will send you the Excel sheet that who opened your mail, who went through your website and white papers and all that. So it's a kind of pay as you click or something, that kind of I would say. I don't have much idea about it, but they have. This is one part. And also go for premium account and then see the magic. See, there are good facilities like Sales Navigator is there nowadays. I don't know whether Sevani you know about it or not, but many of the audiences might be actually knowing about it. Sales Navigator is one of the most powerful tool these days actually for going inside, knowing about the customer, because it gives you a clear picture that how many people have written blogs, how many people have left the organization and all that. So it's a very good. And email is again one of the most important techniques, sending emails and all that. And emails should be very crispy, let me tell you, not like emails and all that. So this is these are some of the techniques you can simply use for social media. LinkedIn is one of them. I don't have much idea about Twitter, how to actually, because big companies actually normally go for a platform like LinkedIn and all that. Okay. So I hope this answers.
Yes, Isha, let us know. Next question is, as per you, who is the best database provider in India and what is the accuracy level of these databases or provider?
So this is a very challenging question for me again, because I've been struggling to find out one good database service provider in India till now. So but we tried a lot, because see, there are many database service provider in the world inside, not only in India. They guarantee you good database, but they are not good at when providing database services to European market. That's why I told one Zinc, xing.com. See, LinkedIn has the maximum number of data on it. If you talk about Hoovers is mainly good for North American market. If you talk about OneSource, used to be, I don't know whether they have acquired by some company, Avenson and all that, but OneSource used to be a good #1 database service provider in India, and I also used the service of OneSource earlier, where actually they used to give a lot of insight about not only email or the name or the number of the company, but also the insight about the profile, and also some research articles about that company or or the exact person. So OneSource was there, which actually I found it interesting. Zoom Info is also, Jigsaw is also there. But see, if your target market is US, the most majority of the database provider are US. If your target market is Middle East or European market, then I did not myself actually find some good database service provider. I am only relied over a period of time on LinkedIn, Zing.com, and my normal research techniques. And my biggest weapon is to call. If I need to find out any person, if I am not getting on internet or any other database provider, I simply call, and I know how to get the to get the name of the key decision maker. I hope
Okay,
it answers.
thank you. Yeah, Rajesh, let us know. Moving on, the next question is, what is the criteria followed by companies to define a lead as a junk lead? So how can we control high volume inflow of junk lead?
See, junk lead is something which is not of use anymore, although the prospect showed some interest in the initial, and finally after 2 or 3 follow-up he is not responding. I told in the slide that he's not enough motivated in the sales journey, then you can consider it as a junk lead for you for the time being. I'm not saying for the entire life you are not going to touch that again. For the time being, for maybe 6 months or 1 year, you can consider it as a junk lead. And another part of question was, I just missed.
How do you prevent the inflow of junk leads?
See, inflow of junk lead is not is entirely not on our hand actually. See, junk lead are also, it's a coordination of sales people also. See, since you have generated a good lead, if sales is not, if you are not nurturing them, you are not following them in the right direction, or sales is not coordination, or delivery team is not coordination in the proper way or in time, so then that lead has more chances of becoming junk. So how you can prevent, you can follow the techniques I told. You just have to categorize into warm, hot, and so which is warm, oh sorry, hot, you have to follow that first, and then warm, and then cold, so that if you follow from cold to warm, then chances are there that junk leads will be more. So if you follow from hot to warm and then cold, then chances are less. So I hope this answers.
Okay. Somebody wanted to know more about trade shows and how can you generate leads from trade shows. Do you have any tips on that?
Yes, I have so many tips on that. So, Sivanim, first of all, like to know that how much we can extend, because I
I think
have.
this could be the last question actually. So most of them have been covered. Yeah. So I was going to tell you this could be a last.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to answer this question in a very detailed manner, because this is the last question. At least I can drink water after that. So a lot of bombarding for me, and I really enjoyed, in fact, and I learned a lot. And I learned the challenges which companies are facing. Maybe I'm not facing these days, but I used to face these kind of challenges earlier. So yeah. Can you please repeat a question once again?
Yes, so actually the question was by Ritu, and she's from a IT web and mobile application development company, and she has attended a lot of trade shows, but she says there are competitors already there. Yes, Ritu, if you could please explain that. And also how can you actually generate leads from trade shows?
Okay, great. See, competitors will always be there. You cannot ignore competitors. If this is the challenge for everyone. In fact, for big companies also. And unless or until you have a monopoly in certain categories or services, then people have to buy only from you. Then there are no competitors. But competition is everywhere. You need not to be fear about this all these things like competition and all that. See, simply it basically depends upon, I told in the starting, big companies are exhibiting their in the events, seminars and all that on a very big level. They have a good stand, they have good brochure, they have good gifts to present, they have good television, sofas and all that to attract customer, and they also have a good brand name, of course. And their customer normally visit, and they have a very standard procedure of doing campaign management, pre and post both. So when they do campaign management, big companies I am talking about, this they have especially very specific market mailers, especially designed for campaigns or events. In fact, sorry, not campaigns, for events and seminars. Those are different from this normal email that we send to direct marketing email, and those are very professional, and it is also geographic specific what actually is the culture there. Because if you send in Europe, normally people would like to take second name, family name, and in US people don't mind actually taking first name also. So so those are very specifically designed for campaign. And then once you meet them, once you generate a good traction with them over a period of time, then build a list and categorize them on hot, warm and cold. That's how actually companies are doing. And then based on the sales people assigned to them, keep following, send an introductory, send a follow-up email immediately after the trade show ends. Let's say trade show end today, so tomorrow your email, or it was nice talking to you, meeting with you on the trade shows, so that you can get into the mind of that, and on the basis of that you may of that email you can follow further. If you send email after 1 week, that is not going to work, that is for sure. And for mid-sized companies, might be they are struggling with leads generated from trade shows, because they are also doing the same thing. They are exhibiting and all that. They do not have much budget, but they are exhibiting somewhere. But the only thing is, trade shows are mainly, companies are not getting successful because they are not good at follow-up, and they are not able to make some presence at the trade show. And if the small companies, since they have less budget, simply they can visit some 2 or 3 good people. And if you are not getting results, that means competition is always there. That means go to the other side, go to find out some other companies. There is no scarcity of companies in the world actually. If you are not getting results from some companies, then you can start prospecting others actually. That's how I told you. See, you never know that the similar kind of companies are approaching them and getting results. So what different they are doing and you are not doing? You are doing the same follow-up, calling them and all that, but you have to make it more effective actually. I think there is some problem in your lead generation hunting technique. So you need to identify that problem actually. Ritu is the name of the girl?
Yes, yes, that's Ritu.
Yeah. So you need to identify where exactly you are going wrong, and whoever is doing it for you. So I have given a lot of techniques for you. So where you are actually lacking, you just try to find it out. And also, let me be very frank, your product or services is not competitive in terms of your competitor.
Okay.
So I hope this ends, and still very much happy seeing that 68 people are still here. So they are listening might be this question and answer session. So thank you very much for all of you for attending, and if you have any specific question, do send to Shivani, and Shivani, I would love to answer all of them. But based upon my time constraint also, so definitely. So thank you guys, and thank you everybody, Shivani and the entire LeadSquared team for arranging this webinar, and I hope this is quite interesting for you. You learned something, and learning is a continuous exercise, and keep learning, enjoying, and keep hunting.
Great. Great words of wisdom there from Rahul Shrivastava. So thank you so much, Rahul, for doing this. The rest of you, please do share your questions if you have any with me. You can just respond to the webinar mail or send it to shivani.roy@leadsquared.com. And thank you all for joining. And please give us a few days to respond. Some of you get impatient, but please give us a few days. So thank you all. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.